Do you think it is just money driven though?
No, it's not just money driven. He knows that if he comes lacking, Crawford gonna beat him. Crawford knows if he comes lacking, Canelo gonna beat him. No, it's not money driven at all. Money just was a good reason to make the fight happen.
Terence is a tremendously skilled fighter. So is Canelo a very skilled fighter. But he doesn't have the same skill set as Terence.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you, man. Back together. What is it in your mind?
I think he's just used to the stage. You know what I'm saying? It's a different stage, man. But I don't know, man. It's like...
The long-awaited showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez lived up to its billing, delivering the kind of spectacle boxing fans crave. In the aftermath, seasoned voices in the sport reflected not only on the fight itself, but also on the electricity that pulsed through the buildup. Many praised the way Crawford maintained his composure in front of a passionate Mexican crowd, refusing to let the intensity of the atmosphere rattle him. Both men embodied respect, carrying not just their personal ambitions, but the weight of history into the ring. For Canelo, it was a gamble with his legacy at super middleweight, while for Crawford, it was a daring pursuit of becoming a three-weight undisputed champion. Though analysts warned it was a monumental challenge, Crawford's unshakable focus and calm demeanor convinced many he belonged among the sport's elite, even at this higher weight.
Many that he belonged at the elite level.
Took the boos from the Mexican fans really well, and then towards the end of the press conference, he's so succinct and pithy in everything he says, Bud, that his supporters eventually came to the fore in the arena. He's incredibly popular. Canelo's so... He's not arrogant, but he's got so much self-belief. And then it's like a game of ping pong.
Yeah.
Back and forth all the time. Great atmosphere. We've had a brilliant day interviewing so many people about it. Today makes me feel really stoked about this fight now.
Stoked. It's a great word.
Stoked.
There's a lot of respect between both guys. I think they both know what they've got themselves into. Obviously, Terence is on the precipice of history. Three-weight, undisputed champion. Not been done in the modern era. And obviously, Canelo Alvarez, he's taking a big risk here. He's fighting what everybody's saying is the smaller guy. But when he was up on that stage, both guys paying an awful amount of respect to each other, both admitting that this is a 50-50 and could go either way.
Yeah, no nostalgia. They were asked about nostalgia and the biggest fight of their lives. Neither man wants to think about those things. They know they've got an elitist fighter in front of them. Canelo, like you say, has his legacy to lose in many ways that he's created in recent times at super middleweight, being undefeated in that division for 6.5 years against a guy that's come up from lightweight. Let's not forget that he beat Ricky Burns to win the world title at the beginning. It's a massive ask for Terence Crawford still, but there's that feeling in all of us that he is capable of doing it. And he presents that the whole time. He's got this poker face. He's got this ability to respond in the right way to everything.
Crawford's move up in weight proved more than just an experiment. It showed he could stand toe-to-toe with Canelo and command respect. Rather than retreating into a purely defensive, Mayweather-inspired style, Crawford stayed authentic, blending slick counters with calculated movement. Observers were quick to note his courage in exchanging punches without abandoning his craft. On the other side, Canelo's relentless pressure and power reminded everyone why he reigns supreme at 168 pounds. Yet Crawford's composure and ability to adapt in real time revealed a different type of greatness. The fight carried echoes of Canelo's past battles with giants like Goliath, but this matchup stood apart for its razor-edge intensity, with Crawford daring to impose his style in uncharted territory.
68 pounds. It is going to be a bit of a mystery how he comes into this weight class. Rumors of a shoulder injury. I'm not putting any stock into that because I don't think we can unless there's anything official really out there. Point being, there's a lot of question marks around Terence Crawford. This video, we are going to suppose that those question marks are answered in full force by Terence Crawford being an absolute monster at this weight class. It's a lot of assuming, but it's kind of what we have to do to see the best version of Terence Crawford in this fight. So let's assume the weight doesn't bother him. Let's assume he is fully healthy, not injured. Let's assume that Canelo's power is not too much from him coming up from 147, 154 to 168. Let's assume all that's true. How does Terence Crawford win this fight? Number one, he has to get Canelo's respect early. Terence Crawford is not going to fight this fight on his back foot, circling around the Rick Williams skull, or Edgar Berlanga, any of these guys that got hit by Canelo and went, ooh, no, I don't want any part of that. That can't happen. And do not forget, by the way, that Charlo was 154 undisputed champion.
As the dust settled, boxing voices from Carl Froch to Hamza Shiraz captured the essence of what fans had witnessed. Crawford's precise timing, technical brilliance, and ability to remain composed under the spotlight left an indelible mark. Yet Canelo's legacy continued to dominate the narrative. His career, defined by showdowns with legends like Golovkin and Mayweather, those past experiences had sculpted a fighter who thrives in the biggest moments. And his sheer power once again commanded respect not just from his opponent, but from analysts across the globe. This bout was less about determining superiority and more about showcasing two shades of greatness. One fighter cementing his growing reputation on boxing's grandest stage, and the other reinforcing a legacy that has already stood the test of time.
Talk about Crawford, Canelo, before we move on to you and Canelo.
Yeah.
Who you got for this? I mean, this is an exciting fight. What's your pick for this one?
I think Canelo's going to win rounds 8 to 10 knockout.
You think he'll get a stoppage, yeah?
Yeah, I think he's going to get the stoppage. I think...
Are you basing that just on size? Or?
No. It's a little bit on size, but I think Crawford's ego is not going to let him box. You got to remember,
so you think he'll take him on?
Yeah. I think he'll do what he has to do at the start, realise it's not going to work. Later on, try and match him, and that's it. Game over.
See, I think if Crawford's going to do the job, it's got to be boxing, moving, keeping
That's the only way it can be done. He can't fight him, can he?
No, he can't fight. And you're saying there he gets drawn in because he just might do because he's unbeaten. He fancies himself as a bit of a tough. Well, he's tough, isn't he? Tough, strong. He does everything well.
Yeah.
But at this weight, but Canelo was down at welterweight when he started, up at light heavyweight, and obviously been beat. He lost to Mayweather and lost to Dimitri Bivol. Yeah, Bivol was too much for him.
Yeah,
back down at super middleweight now. That's probably his comfortable weight, and you just think Crawford's just not big enough.
Nah, I don't think he is, man. And the thing is, with someone like Canelo, you got to either throw punches in bunches like Bivol did, or you got to be there where he respects your power. Yeah, like GGG and these guys. So it sounds a bit mad, but I don't think Crawford's got either or. Yeah. He's talented, one of the best fighters in our generation, but you got to remember you're going up. Yeah. 2 divisions, 3 divisions.
Yeah, 2 or 3 divisions.
Different. The game's different up there.
And Canelo's not going anywhere, is it? Because he got clipped. You mentioned Bivol there, and Bivol smashed him with quite a lot of big heavy shots. Yeah. And he took it. Never been down, has it?
Nah, he ate it. And it didn't phase him. So I don't see how Crawford can hurt him, to be fair.
The fight also magnified the contrast between a natural super middleweight and a man daring to test himself beyond his comfort zone. Canelo's experience at 168 pounds gave him a natural edge, absorbing blows that would wilt most fighters, while Crawford's sharpness, adaptability, and constant activity allowed him to level the playing field. Every exchange carried flashes of brilliance, a perfectly timed counter, a sudden shift in tempo, or a gritty adjustment mid. The uncertainty of the outcome kept fans locked in from start to finish. As fatigue and pressure mounted in the later rounds, the drama intensified, setting up championship moments where both men had to dig deeper than ever before.
Weird. It's quite difficult to read. Canelo's not as difficult, but Canelo's just so much more experienced. And yes, they're going to look physically the same, but he's the natural 168-pounder. He's the one that's taken shots from guys that probably on a fight night weigh in nearly 200 pounds, and he's been able to eat those shots, eat them, right? I mean, we haven't seen Canelo wobbled since Miguel Cotto's brother wobbled him way back when, right? I mean, apart from that, this guy's taken shots off Gennady Golovkin. And anyone that can eat shots off Golovkin, I'm sorry, you've got my full respect, because we know how hard Golovkin hits. What will Crawford's legs look like after a few rounds against Canelo? Like, Crawford's going to have to be active. One thing Crawford's got to understand as well, it's in Vegas. If you want to beat Canelo, you got to beat Canelo. A bit like Bivol did. You've got to make sure there is no arguments. It's all said and done. I did way more work. So Crawford's got to be busy. Canelo, we just know, isn't going to revert back to Canelo of 6-7 years ago. It ain't going to happen. So what Canelo does do is he tries to hurt you with one big shot now. He won't load up. It will tap you, then bang. I think we've seen that, especially that shot he throws where it looks like he's going to go to the body, then it goes up top. He's really good at that shot. So Crawford's got to look out for that. I think Crawford wins quite a few of the early rounds. And then I think the weight of Canelo's punches, the weight in Crawford's legs start to take some impact. And I think Canelo starts to eat a lot of the second half of the fight rounds. And then I think it comes down to who can do something in 11 and 12 championship rounds. I really do believe that's how it's going to play out. I've got a feeling that Canelo will hurt Crawford.
In the aftermath, whispers inevitably drifted toward the subject of ped testing, a recurring topic whenever Canelo's name is mentioned. Some questioned whether he faced the same level of scrutiny as others in his division. Yet, the performance in the ring demanded the spotlight. Both fighters displayed exceptional discipline and world-class conditioning, testament to the months of preparation behind the scenes. Crawford's ability to carry his skills into a higher weight class earned admiration, while Canelo's durability against precise and stinging punches reminded fans why he has remained dominant for so long. The specter of doping debates lingered, not as direct accusations, but as a reminder of the scrutiny that has followed Canelo throughout his career.
He's around a whole bunch of dope people, right? His whole camp, we all know 7 people's been busted there. So how and why is no one asking about if he's been dope tested for this mega fight? Right? And that's what I've been watching for. And that's why, my interest is waning, my interest, because I understand that there's people who don't care. You know what I call boxing here. BTBG. Beat the black guy. That's what I call boxing. That's what I've been seeing for years. Right? Example, who gave a damn when Devin Haney was cheated with Ryan Garcia? Full of dope. All they were doing is celebrating a win, was what they were calling it, with somebody doped.
Bob Arum's reflections distilled the heart of the contest. Crawford showcased his trademark boxing IQ, shifting seamlessly between offense and defense, while Canelo's style, though less explosive than in his younger years, carried the authority of experience. Observers noted how Canelo leaned on ringcraft rather than raw volume, pacing himself carefully to create windows for his power shots. Crawford, by contrast, embodied a fighter determined to prove that skill and precision can transcend weight divisions. The night became a study of contrasts. The patience of a seasoned champion against the hunger of a man daring to challenge the odds. Arum's observation rang true. Canelo has evolved from a whirlwind puncher into a calculated strategist, proving that adaptation is its own form of greatness.
Are you willing to pick him over Canelo? That fight's gonna happen in September at 168.
Well, it's a big difference in weight with Canelo and Terence. But if any fighter has a chance with Canelo, it's Terence. Terence is a super talent, and he has a real chance, despite the weight disparity, to beat Canelo. A real chance.
Who would you favor, though? Or is it just 50-50?
It's very, very hard because of the difference in weight. I would think that if I had to bet the fight, that I would bet Terence, because Terence has more skills than Canelo. But he's giving away a lot of weight, a lot of real weight. So that matters. But again, Terence is a tremendously skilled fighter. So is Canelo a very skilled fighter. But he doesn't have the same skill set as Terence.
Gabriel Rosado's comments struck a chord with fans as they watched a man who has carried global main events for over a decade. Canelo's composure under the brightest lights once again proved why he belongs on the sport's biggest stage. Yet Crawford, unshaken by the magnitude of the occasion, showed he could meet the moment with equal calmness. His poise suggested not just readiness, but confidence that he was born for nights like these. High-pressure exchanges are often where experience speaks loudest, and both men delivered. For fans, this was not merely a fight, it was a masterclass in performing with grace and grit under the harshest spotlight.
I feel like it's leaning towards Canelo, man.
Really?
Yeah.
And what gives you that feeling when you think about it? Is it just, is it the way he looks? Is it the way they interact together? What is it in your mind?
I think he's just used to the stage. You know what I'm saying? It's a different stage, man. But I don't know, man. It's like I said, Crawford that dude. But I don't know, man. I think Canelo gonna get it.
Is there anything that you feel like Terence is giving off that makes you feel like maybe the moment is too big, in your opinion, having seen it time and time again, or is it just a gut feeling you have?
No, man. I just think, man, that it's just comfortability, like as far as weight and activity. Canelo's been active, and I don't know, man. It's hard to be on your A game when you ain't fighting over a year. So especially when you fight top level.
What makes it difficult when you've been out for a year?
Because timing.
What is it about coming back?
It's just that timing.
We're going up. Yeah.
It's that timing, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Richard Schaefer's reflections added depth to the story of the evening, charting Canelo's journey from teenage prospect to global icon. At 168 pounds, his frame looked perfectly natural, a testament to how long he has ruled at this weight. Facing him across the ring was Crawford, a smaller man daring to climb the ladder and collide with history. The visual was powerful. Two different paths converging in a single, epic night. Crawford's ambition underscored his courage, while Canelo's long campaign reflected durability, growth, and evolution. The bout became more than just a contest of skills. It was a collision of stories. The one's young prodigy, who became a legend, and the relentless champion, determined to test the limits of possibility.
Good morning, Wayne. Yeah, we just stepped away from the, we just stepped on the scale, 167.5. Crawford has the same weight. Interesting. And so they both seem to be in great shape. Canelo is ready. He is mentally ready as well, in a great mood, feels strong, looks strong, and is ready to perform.
My prediction, Canelo stoppage 8. It's a great fight, two great fighters. What do you think? How does this fight unfold?
Yeah, I could see that somewhere between the 8 and the 10. It's just like, you know, I'm not so sure that that Crawford gaining, moving up to weighing in at 167.5 pounds is really the smartest move, because I believe that this Crawford is not going to win the fight based on weight. Canelo is the bigger, stronger guy. So I think what Crawford did by actually coming in so high, he gave up some of his advantages, such as speed. So I personally think that was not a smart move, but hey, we'll take it.
You've known Canelo for many, many years, almost 20 years, 19 years. Tell me about the first time you ever met him and his route to where he is right now.
It's funny. We actually were looking the other day at some old pictures, and I shared them with Canelo. It was, he was 17 years old. It was in downtown Los Angeles at the Fiesta Broadway event, the big Hispanic festival, where he showed up with Chepo and with Eddie. And my kids were there, my 3 sons, my wife, and they were like, you know, I don't know.
Roy Jones Jr. perfectly captured the essence of Crawford's mindset. For Crawford, this was never merely about financial gain. It was about daring to step into the ring with one of boxing's greatest champions and proving he belonged there. His belief radiated throughout the fight, from his meticulous preparation to his calm execution under fire. Crawford trusted his skill set and adapted to the challenges with resilience, showing moments of brilliance that reflected his self-belief. As Jones highlighted, true greatness goes beyond showing up. It lies in the courage to test yourself at the highest level and the confidence to believe you belong. In that sense, Crawford's performance was not just about boxing. It was about courage, conviction, and legacy.
And he brings that level of motivation. But do you think that it is just money driven though?
No, it's not just money driven. He knows that if he comes lacking, Crawford gonna beat him. Crawford knows if he come lacking, Canelo gonna beat him. No, it's not money driven at all. Money just was a good reason to make the fight happen. And you ask, why did he take Crawford instead of anybody else? Because this is the best money opportunity, but it's also a better situation. If you look at the whole dynamics of it, Canelo gets to be the big guy.
Yeah.
In a fight where he can make the most money he probably ever made.
Yeah.
Why would you not want that? You understand? So no, money only incentive, but why would I not take a fight where I'm the bigger guy? You understand me? And this guy is good. Don't get it wrong, which is what gets you out of bed every day. This guy is the only guy in the 4-belt era to be unified champion in 2 weight classes. Yeah, yeah. If you ain't getting your behind up out of bed for him, then you don't get up out of bed for nobody.
Yeah. Look, you talk there about Crawford being the bigger guy. Everyone's really...
No, Canelo being the bigger guy.
Sorry, about Canelo being the bigger guy. Everyone's really kind of hung up on the fact that Crawford's obviously coming up 2 weight divisions. But you've said before that he naturally walks around heavier than people kind of think, that actually it's not so much about him coming up, it's about the fact that he's not boiling down as much as before. So do you think the weight is as much of a factor as people are saying it is?
No, I don't. You know, I love guys like Crawford who follow blueprint that I set. I set that blueprint to put in their heads that just because the guy's bigger don't mean you got to lose to him. When I came in to fight Jerome Ruiz, I gave up a lot of weight. You understand me? But because I had the technique and the skill and the punching power to get my respect, I was able to win the fight. And I did that so that people can understand that just because the guy's bigger than you don't mean that he got to be able to beat you.
Lennox Lewis echoed the conversation that had been building long before the opening bell. The disparity in size. Canelo's natural strength at super middleweight has long been one of his defining attributes, and his track record against larger opponents only reinforced that truth. Yet Crawford, despite moving up, displayed speed, accuracy, and power that demanded respect. Still, questions about size never fully disappeared and made every exchange all the more gripping for fans. Lewis's observation cut to the heart of the story. This was the eternal boxing equation: skill versus size, speed versus strength. It's a balance that has defined some of the sport's greatest matchups. And on this night, it was on full display once again.
What do you think about this matchup? Crawford moving up 21 pounds essentially to take on the guy at 68.
Yeah, man. Crawford's an amazing fighter. I call him Kung Fu because he fights on different styles. You know, hard to hit and he hits hard. And he's boxing a guy that, he has to jump up in weight like 3 categories. And this man is like a body snatcher. He comes and he wears you down. So it's a great fight. He's boxed, I'm talking Canelo's boxed a lot of guys that move around. And, he's used to that type of boxing. And he's used to guys that, try and hide. But this Crawford ain't going to hide from him. Crawford is looking to, put some punches on him and keep him at a distance. That's what I would do for Crawford. And then take his opportunity. I mean, I would say Canelo is not easy to hit.
Share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe and like this video and stay tuned for more like this.